Hello, my name is Aaron Thomas, and I am presenting on the first part of The Intuitionist. So, first, I'd just like to talk about the author, Colson Whitehead. Colson Whitehead is a Harvard graduate and Pulitzer Prize winning author from Manhattan. The Intuitionist was actually his first novel, one which won him a Quality Paperback Book Club's New Voices Award. So, into the book. The Intuitionist is a novel that takes place in an unnamed city that can come off as very glum and dreary. The protagonist, a colored female elevator inspector, goes by the name of Leela Mae Watson, and I should mention the book states that she's the first female colored elevator inspector. Her title of elevator inspector is a defining characteristic and seems to elevate her status in the society. This can be demonstrated when the narrator says on page 29, elevator inspectors possess undeniable macho cachet, and the inspectors are given preferential treatment over other jobs, such as escalator inspectors. Throughout the novel, elevator inspectors are almost idolized and even likened to the police. There's even a part in the novel when Leela Mae is waiting in traffic and she recalls a time the leader of the elevator inspectors, called the elevator guild chair, asked the mayor numerous times, to which was given no response, if elevator inspectors could have sirens on their vehicles like the police. To summarize the first part of the novel, Leela Mays just figured out that an elevator she recently inspected in the Fanny Briggs building went into free fall and crashed as the mayor was showing off the building to people from the French embassy. As Leela May begins to investigate the incident, the reader is placed into a world where elevators are extremely important. Um, in the novel, it says that the narrator describes them as, stepping stones to heaven, things that make verticality, very appeasing. With the Whitehead even, changes history, placing elevators into historical events such as battles in Roman Colosseums, or talking about the first steam elevators, an obvious allusion to steam engines. All the while, this is being taught to Leela May in a place called the Institute for Vertical Transport. We also begin to learn of, two differing ideologies, which are the thoughts of empiricism and intuitionism. Leela May, the protagonist, is an intuitionist. She literally feels elevators. This is how she inspects them. She rides on the inside of these elevators, and she feels the vibrations in her back, and every little sound, every little uh, you know vibration movement of the elevator. She begins to picture shapes in her mind, and this is the way she inspects the elevators. And although it sounds strange, the novel states that she has the best record for elevator inspections. Empiricism, on the other hand, is a by the book, looking on the surface type of ideology. These philosophies can be, interpreted a number of ways, whether it be, you know, white versus colored, the north versus the south, surface inspection versus, looking deeper. However the reader chooses to interpret it, Whitehead still paints the picture of two classes, one with a longer establishment that appears to be more commanding, more prominent, and the other being around more recently and is looked down upon and often discriminated against. The rise of intuitionism, we learn in the novel, came from a man by the name of James Fulton, who was actually an African American man, a light skinned African American man. That passed. We talked about the theme of passing, and this could be a possible reason why this philosophy even came about, is because um, it's possible to think that if he was perceived or known to be an African American man, then the ideology probably might have not, came to fruition. But these clashing of these ideologies, it can be exemplified throughout the book, such as on page 31, in which the narrator continually describes Leela May's ascension in to elevator inspector as a groundbreaking accomplishment. But it says her position is a precarious every everywhere she goes in the city. Or even on page 33, in which Chan Cray, the current guild chair, says that sometimes the old ways are the best ways, in obvious allusion to old timey Southern ideology. One theme that's um, identifiable in the novel. But these were just some of the themes that I was able to identify in the novel. Obviously, the clash between classes, the items such as the elevator's meaning that I picked up on in the first part of the novel. Yeah, thank you.